There's a quote by Nisargadatta Maharaj that really puts the entire spiritual process in a very, very simple way. He said, "For any genuine seeker, there is only one real spiritual practice. It is a rigorous refusal to harbor thoughts." And so today, I want to guide you into the silence, the quietude, in which the understanding of what you truly are in essence can develop, can ripen, can mature. So I want you to close your eyes just like me and instantly realize that the experience of the world has already faded out of view. Here and now, don't rely on memory for reference to what is out there if you were to open your eyes right now. Don't rely on anticipation in order to imagine what will be there when you open your eyes again. Just recognize that the moment you close your eyes, what you see as the world, all the images are already out of view. They are no longer there. Your eyesight stopped, but there's still a sense of seeing, a sense of knowing. There's a knowing that there is no eyesight. The knowing, the seeing, in which eyesight and the lack of eyesight are seen, is deeper than the eyesight. It is there with or without eyesight. It is that to which eyesight reports. It is that to which the absence of eyesight is known. And it is the same knowing which is currently hearing these words. It is that same knowing in which your thoughts and the sensations occur and are seen. Quickly acknowledge that the thoughts and the sensations that you feel as my body, they are not actually tangible things. They are very, very intimate and subtle, especially your thoughts. Thoughts you cannot attribute any particular, physical form to. They are completely invisible. Yet there's a very clear seeing of them. There's a very clear knowing of them. Acknowledge this right now. They are subtler than what you label physical experience. Yet even these invisible thoughts are very clearly and easily known right now. the knowing of thoughts is the same knowing that is present when there are no thoughts. It is to the knowing which the thoughts appear, and it is to the knowing in which the lack of thoughts also is known. Perhaps there are thoughts arising right now about the words that you're hearing, about my voice, about your surroundings. Acknowledge them just appearing. Acknowledge that you didn't do anything for them to appear. Acknowledge that you are not choosing what they are saying, what they are projecting. And lastly, acknowledge that regardless of all of this, there is an automatic and effortless, spontaneous knowing of these thoughts. The knowing is there, changeless, pristine, regardless of what the thoughts are saying, regardless of if the thoughts are happy thoughts or sad thoughts. It is the same knowing of the sadness and of the happiness. The content, right? The happy thoughts or the sad thoughts, that changes, that comes and goes, that appears and disappears in the knowing, which itself is not changing. So when we talk about being quiet, being silent, not harboring any thoughts, we're talking about coming into acknowledgement of yourself as the knowing in which thoughts appear and disappear, in which the presence and absence of thoughts is known. Recognize that thoughts appearing does not damage this knowing. It does not change this knowing. It does not affect this knowing. It does not alter this knowing. All the altering, changing, affecting, damaging is also seen and known, observed in the very knowing, in the very awareness, seeing, observing. Nothing that can appear in this moment, no phenomena, no experience, can hold you back from knowing. It cannot cloud the knowing. All that appears to cover up is your knowing of the knowing itself, your acknowledgement of the awareness itself. And because we lose sight of this, because we lose touch with the knowing itself and get caught up in what we know, we begin to suffer. we begin to take ourself as what we know, what we appear to be. But now we are becoming quiet. We are taking a pause in order to take a look and seeing that what I appear to be changes. And this change is seen by a deeper knowing, which I sense as myself, which I call I. Thoughts arise, they are known by me. And then thoughts subside. I do not feel like a part of me is gone with them. The I that I am remains as it is. Emotions and sensations and feelings arise. They are known by me. And they are known by me to subside and leave. I do not feel that as they subside, that any part of me, of I, has gone with them. I remain as I am. My experience of I does not change. It has never changed. The I that I am now is the same I that I feel I was when I was experiencing this 10-year-old body in an entirely different world, entirely different thoughts, entirely different feelings, sensations, images. It is this I that knows. It is this I which is the knowing itself. And it is that which I am learning to acknowledge as effortless, natural, spontaneous, here and now, being, knowing, awareness. And when I am in acknowledgement of myself as I really am, everything that I appear to be fades out of view for a moment. It is what now takes the back seat. Rather than being in the foreground, it retreats into the back. Rather than having my stamp of reality, of truth, it now fades into its proper place, in which it is not given a false sense of self, reality, truth. And in my acknowledgement of myself, I am peaceful, quiet, happy. In my acknowledgement of myself, what appears and disappears loses its capacity to bother, affect, annoy me. Here, there is no room to complain that thoughts are holding you back from being as you really are. It's seen that I am as I always am. I only appear to be this and that, here and there, upon forgetting myself as I really am. And only in forgetfulness of myself as I really am can I suffer this and that, here and there. In the very moment of remembering myself as I am, free of content, free of limits, I no longer suffer the contents of awareness. I see clearly that the contents of awareness cannot obscure my awareness itself. So this is what you have to come to see through practice, through sitting quietly and looking directly into your experience in this way, very freshly, not referencing anything from the past, anything from the future. And as you learn to acknowledge yourself as you really are, free of content, now this capacity to be with content without it pulling you into self-forgetfulness arises. Don't run away from this. Don't constantly be reading, watching, interpreting, thinking about this teaching. It will get you nowhere. If you wish to mature in this understanding, if you wish to ripen in this knowing of yourself as you are, you must look. You must learn to look. You must learn to see. You must be quiet. Call it meditation, call it inquiry, call it whatever you want. It is the only true, direct spiritual practice. Seeing yourself as you are here and now. Practice this, live in this, be this. And that's all. Now, lastly, I will just end it off by saying that if you want my personal support for this practice, if you want to become quiet and you're truly dedicated to this teaching, then consider joining our program down below. It's called the Higher Consciousness Shift. Or you could also consider doing our free class and our upcoming webinar. So use the resources available to you. Really go in on this teaching, live by it, truly be it. See you next time.